Boom. Welcome to Grown Dad Business. Friends, we are at episode 202. I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate all the love for the episode 200 and episode 201 with Bob Saget. And hopefully y'all checked out the bonus episode that's on Patreon for the Bob Saget episodes. Him talking about dirty work and Norm Macdonald and Chris Farley. Really funny. So if you want to support monthly on Patreon, do that. I appreciate you. That's one of the things you get, post shows with people like Bob Saget. Also, my friend Brad Williams has a post show on there. But you guys, we're doing it. We're doing more video. I appreciate you guys supporting. My friend this week I have on from Cleveland, Rob Ward. Rob is a comedian I met, and we're kind of just coming up together, running into each other, opening shows, working together. Out of Cleveland, on tour with Benji Brown a lot all over the country. But Rob has been seen on Kevin Hart's Heart of the City. He also toured with Martin Lawrence's tour, the Lit as tour, which is Martin Lawrence is one of my comedy heroes, one of my favorite comedians of all time. So to be able to tour with Martin Lawrence, he got one up on me. That's amazing. Also, Showtime at the Apollo, done work on there, but also Father 3 now. So last summer, we worked together in Cleveland, and I thought it was a perfect time, to be one-on-one, in person. I love doing podcasts like that. So we did a podcast in the Cabaret Bar at one of our favorite clubs in the country, one of his home clubs, really, Hilarities in Cleveland. And for some reason, I did not have his microphone recording. And we had such a good talk. He literally, at that time last summer, he was living in a hotel because his house burned. He had a huge fire in his house with 2 little kids. His wife, they had to leave. So that was a huge part of what we talked about. But almost a year later, we're living through a pandemic. We're living through really a existential civil rights crisis. And so, he's a father of biracial kids, and we talk real. It's 2 dad friends talking about our careers and what we're going through. And it was a really good talk. It's really good to just do this now and just talk to my friends and just it's a podcast, I guess. I don't know. It's not always funny. We don't want to be serious. And, we don't, I don't talk about politics and religion a lot on the podcast. And Rob and I agree on that in comedy and all that. But, there's some things we just need to talk about as human beings that aren't political. So we did talk about a lot of that. We laugh about just being middle-class dads. You know what I mean? And just out there working. So I hope you enjoyed my episode with Rob Ward. Go check him out at Rob Ward Comedy. You can find him all through there. He's starting a new nonprofit. So go check out that. Just honestly, one of the coolest people to talk to. It's just one of my friends that I've met on the road over the years that I look forward to talking to every time. Just another dad out there doing it, another comedian just pushing and hustling. And he's one of those comics and dads I always look to. Like I said, there's people like that don't live in New York, LA, and they're successful, and they're being successful husbands and fathers. So I always look at Rob like, what's Rob doing? I want to do what Rob's doing. You know what I mean? Always doing good things. But yeah, show Rob some love at Rob Ward Comedy. And I want to give shout outs first to Patreon. I told you can see bonus post episodes like the one with Bob Saget or Brad Williams or a couple other of my friends. Patreon.com/Aaron Kleiber. If you don't know what Patreon is a way for you to support creative people monthly. And funny people, whatever, follow your heart. Since I'm not making money, it would be nice to have a monthly thing, you know what I mean, for doing this stuff, because this stuff still costs money. So I appreciate you guys for helping out. And I always want to give shout outs, to my friends that are supporting Corey and Cheyenne, the GDB champs. Thank you so much. Also want to give a shout out to Sue and Sean, my guy Vic, Marianne, Mary, Lori, Jess, Jason, Fanny, Jennifer, and Laura, Corey and Cheyenne again. I love you guys. Thanks for supporting the podcast. Those guys get monthly mail from me and my kids. It's fun. All the little stuff that my kids are drawing is pretty funny. But also, if you sponsor a certain level and support, we'll send out stickers and shirts and stuff like that. Here's the kids banging around right now. I'm about to go yell. But all the shirts too. Give a shout out to Ink Division, who prints all my apparel, all the Grown Dad shirts. You can go check them all out at growndadsshirts.com. And growndadsshirts.com goes right to my store with Ink Division. You can save 15% off shirts. I'm giving that to you right now. If you go to growndadsshirts.com, GDB15, that's the coupon code. You can save 15%. Also, if you're an entertainer, podcaster, comedian, musician, whatever, Ink Division, go check them out, ink-division.com. They're offering 15% off a bulk order, off your first bulk order, which is so dope. You want to order 50 shirts to go sell online or get ready to sell when you go back on tour, hopefully. Go check them out, ink-division.com. And you can check out the growndadsshirts.com, all printed through Ink Division, who are from Braddock, PA, locally owned, service nationwide. Amazing. And I will be remiss to not mention my boy, you hear the beats right now, Kid Mental. Go check out kidmental.com. He does theme songs, he does beats, he does music. Also very funny. Support a dad, a musician, a creative artist. He also helped me design my shirts. So incredibly talented. Kid Mental, kidmental.com, at Kid Mental Music. I love them. So creative. Go check out our Grown Dad shirts at growndadsshirts.com. Also, I want to give a shout out to just a dope new sponsor that I know it's. I love this product called Elixicure. It's a CBD, basically roll-on and a lotion. It's non-psychoactive. It's not the THC version of cannabis. It's CBD. Everybody's starting to use it now. You're hearing it. Get it from your doctors. But I've always loved Elixicure, and I found an amazing site called thehivedistro.com. They distribute all kinds of CBD products, including Elixicure. They have the roll-on. They got the cream pump. I'm telling you, I rub it on my ankles for arthritis. My wife loves it on her neck. But you got to try that. Our favorite is the lavender cream pump. It's so good. But the hivedistro.com, they also offer different CBD products, which is dope. They have bath bombs, which my wife loves that as too. They have Buddha beans, a coffee, hemp-infused coffee. It has blends from regions all over the world, and I can't wait to get that. They offer that. They also, one of the things we got is man butter. It's an organic body deodorant by Dry Men Products. And at this point, my son is now using it on his stinky feet to help his feet. You can rub it on. It's a organic body deodorant. It's pretty amazing. They also have CBD tinctures, so go check them out. Listen, you can go get 20% off if you use the coupon code GROWN, GROWN. You can get 20% off. You get free shipping over $75. So 20% off is pretty dope. At least go try something. Let me know how it is. Just giving shout outs. It's products that I like, products that I love. And I'm just happy that, that I found a way to shout out Elixicure and get samples. Let me know. You want to try it out? I'll send you a sample with some stickers. Follow your heart. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks again. Consider supporting monthly the show. I'm sorry this is so long. I've been talking so long. But I think you're going to enjoy my talk with Rob Ward. Little grown talk. I don't know if it's good for the van with the kids. But I appreciate you guys. Be kind, be funny.
Granddad Business with Aaron Kleiber. That's my dad. Hello! Underpants? That is hilarious. You should mouth to rate and review this podcast or my daddy will go into a deep depression. Going down business with Aaron Kleiber. Yeah.
Boom. Welcome to Grown Dad Business, Rob Ward. How are you, sir?
What's up? What's up, Aaron? Good, man. One of my favorite comedians.
Man, I was thinking about you. I saw that you had your third child.
Yeah.
So I was like, I gotta talk to Rob. And what a lot of people don't know is we recorded a podcast last June. And I remember telling people on the podcast, but I messed up your audio. I did not record your audio. So it's literally me having a one-sided conversation in the nice booth at Cleveland Hilarities.
It was a great podcast too.
Oh man, I was so excited about it. And one of those feelings, I don't know if you've ever had that happen where you record something and you're like, how, like, you're like working on that 6 minutes for the Tonight Show and your camera ran out of battery. You were like, Jesus, why don't you want me to succeed?
I think I was recording for something one time and I forgot to put my phone in airplane mode, and I bought my daughter like a little, as a matter of fact, it was an Obama phone. I think my mom gave her Obama phone, and I recorded one of the best sets I had, and my daughter called me like right in the middle with her little Obama phone. I was pissed.
That's a weird thing to blame Obama phones on.
Yeah.
I had such a great talk with you last year, and now, bro, our whole talk was basically, you were like, it was like, what, a month since your house burned down. You had you have three girls.
3 girls now, yeah.
So you had 2 little girls. Your house, like, tell me, like, let's recap that, because that was, as a father, I was just like, because I was like, Rob, let's just have a podcast, and you were like, oh, we could talk about how I'm living in a hotel right now because I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't mean to sound like a juicy CNN reporter, like, ooh, but dude, like, let's talk about that if you want to. I mean,
no, everybody was okay, so it's no big deal to talk about that. I was actually performing at the Cleveland Improv, and my wife called me like, the house is on fire, and I was like, what do you mean? She's like, the house is on fire, and she's like, but you don't have to leave. And I was like, what? And she was like, we're at the house, the fire department's here, everybody's here. The entire house didn't burn down, just the kitchen, but it was so much soot and smoking everywhere. The house wasn't livable anymore, but everybody's okay. I mean, we had insurance, and I think we had to stay in a hotel for about 4 or 5 months.
Right.
And you would think that was cool when you were a kid, and that it would be cool for the kids, but my daughters were miserable.
Oh yeah, all one room. I mean, you can't get out. And I remember talking about, there was a lot of people that just really rallied behind you too. Like, that's amazing too. Because I can't imagine being in that position as a father, and you're like, what? Like, what? My wife and I just had this conversation last night. This is so stupid. We had a conversation about like how hard it is. Okay, The Conjuring 2 was on. Okay, this is how deep into quarantine our relationship has gotten, where we're watching The Conjuring 2, and my wife is like, why don't they just move out? Why don't they just move out? And then I said, I always wondered that too. And she goes, oh wait. She's like, if we just had to like move out of a house, like right now, like if there was a fire, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Like, who's gonna like buy this house? How do you get rid of your furniture? You got to throw away stuff. You doing all this paperwork, and also it's you might not have money to just up and move, go get another place. I mean, that's, sorry to bring The Conjuring and ghosts into that, but it was just like being having to up and like, because you lost some stuff. I remember saying like the smoke like ruined stuff. Clothes
and everything. But I'm a really, really big saver, I guess, because of our career. I have to be. So even with the the COVID-19, like I wasn't worried because I saved so much money.
You got to hibernate on that.
Yeah. I love it, doing it. I love saving.
Yeah, we're pretty. See, that's the thing. People like you live in Cleveland. I live in Pittsburgh. We tour nationally, And a lot of people are like, how do you do that? Like, well, first of all, our kids and our families are here, they're in our cities, you know what I mean? And people are like, how can you not move to LA or New York? Well, first of all, that would break us. Like, we got kids, we got, but I learned a long time ago when I did one of my first movies ever. I made a bunch of money filming for 2 months, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm going to take this and pay off all my college loans. Meanwhile, I only paid off half of them, and I needed money a month later.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then doing stand-up now, if we have a hot tour, if you're doing 3-4 months straight, you prepare for having a month off. It happens.
Yep.
It happens. Gigs get canceled. I mean, and the pandemic, the thing for us was that we were I was ready. Like, I had a rough, January, February. So I couldn't wait to get out. I was packed March, April, May. I might have said this 100 times, but and then everything canceled. So this spring was we're going to get a bunch of money for Christmas. You know what I mean? So it hit people different ways. You know what I mean? But the thing you said, man, it's just I always say we live below our means always.
Yeah, I say that too. All the time.
My kids are spoiled already. They don't even know how poor we are. That's one of the best things my mom ever has done. I never knew how poor I was ever.
Yeah.
Until I asked for money and I was 15, and I was like, oh, we really don't got money. I got to go work. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I think because when you're starting out, especially if you ever tried full-time comedian before, you should have, because I've done it twice, I think now, and I was blessed enough for someone to take me on the road as their full-time open an act, and and pay for my travel and all of that. But before I tried doing comedy full-time and lights have been turned off, or we had $8 in the account. So I promised that I wouldn't put us in that position again. So like I say it all the time, we live below our means. My daughter, my wife, I was just out of town. My wife called me like, your daughter's running around turning off lights, saying daddy's going to be mad. Like, I'm quick to turn off the lights. And, and then she's 6, so and I think that and I get so mad watching other people spend money. I'm just like, oh, they're blowing money. Oh,
you see that one couple with the same amount of kids, and they're going on a cruise, and you're like, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? I call them. I did not coin this, but a friend of mine in Pittsburgh, who's a producer, he calls it middle class millionaires. Just like people make $30,000 a year and stunting like they're knock it off.
I know a bunch of people like that.
Oh, middle class millionaires.
Oh wow!
Yeah, you got
to buy that from him. You got to put that on the shirt.
He did. He does.
Oh, he did. Oh, he's a comic already. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
wow.
he's a music producer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
that's hilarious.
It's people got no furniture but a Gucci purse. It don't make no sense.
I get so mad, man.
A lot of suburban moms at my elementary school stunting hard.
Yeah. That's oh my God.
They got a Mercedes. Got a Mercedes, and I'm like, you live down the street from me. I don't got nothing.
Yeah, like I want my wife wants me to get a new car. I have a 2006 Honda Accord.
Honda Accord, baby.
Yeah, 200,000 miles on it. I mean, it drives like drives like a Benz, and it's paid for. So why go get a car note?
Yep. No, I just paid off my car. I paid off my car during the pandemic.
Oh wow. Good
like that was that was one of the bills, and my wife was like, hey, like, we got 2 payments left, like this will be gone. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you. Nice. And same thing with my car, man. Now no payment. Oh
yeah.
And also, I mean, my car is 5 years old. I have like 170,000 miles on it, man. That thing, I've driven that all over the country.
Yeah, exactly. And you trust that car. You know that car. Like, oh well, it does this and it needs this and it needs this work. You go buy another car, either you're going to buy a new car and have a note, or you're going to buy a used car.
Nope.
You don't know what's wrong with it.
Nope, I don't need that.
I got AAA membership. So if you don't know, AAA is doing like half off right now. So I paid $55 for 6 toes, unlimited. So my car breaks down. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
that's
all
how
over the
you have to
country.
live as a that's
Yep.
how you have to live as a comic.
Yeah, it is. And it's funny too, because like I'll see I don't want to hate on young comics, but you know, we have, I mean, it's very rare to be a comedian in our position that our name's not nationally known, but we make a living and we're raising a family. A lot of our friends, like you look at some of our friends, they wait till their name is on every billboard, you know, or you know, when you're headlining, you know, 20, 30 clubs a year, you're doing well as a headliner, you know. So you know, a lot of times you'll see our comic friends, they'll wait till they're basically a steady headliner, then they're like, I'm gonna get married and have a family. We did this shit ass backwards.
Yeah, we did, but we figured it out, man. And saving is
you have
key.
to.
Saving is key. And you know what? My wife always tells me, I can't take credit for this, but you and I are happier as comedians because you know we would be better. We wouldn't be good dads or husbands if we were in a factory or office, or even me used to be a firefighter. Like I would not be happy doing that.
Preach.
You know,
Yes.
so, yeah. Yeah. So
I'm over here like, yes. You because my wife, I say it all the time, because I'm the one that says it. I'll go, you know, especially during this pandemic, you're sitting at home and you're just like, I'm putting all this work into the podcast and streaming a live show, and I'm like, I ain't making no money. I'm like, what the hell am I doing any of this for? You know, you lose 20 dates and two people call you back, you know, and you're like, I think I'm going to build retaining walls now. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, yourself. And my wife knows, because I've had a couple careers, you know, and throughout every one of my careers, comedy and acting kept busting through. It kept making me quit. It made me quit almost every one of my jobs.
Yeah. Have you had a lot of jobs?
I've kind of lily padded all my 20s before I started full-time comedy when I was about probably 29 or 30.
Okay.
So I've been full-time for maybe like 8 years. And so, but also like telling that to people, I know people listen to the podcast know, but like I also get acting every here now and then. So that's like getting a Christmas bonus every couple months. That's nice, you know. So it keeps you floating. You know what I mean? So that's why I was able to try to, you know, barely make a living. But like, during my 20s, I was basically just taking jobs that would feed my filmmaking and comedy. Like at that point, you know what I mean? So it was like, well, if I gotta have a full-time job, I'm gonna, you know, I worked in ministry for years, and I just wanted to. I thought, well, if I want to work in entertainment, I should get jobs that are near that. And so like I started working in marketing. I started, you know, working working entertainment marketing and things like that. So, but there was always comedy. And that, like I said, my wife goes, you know, you can't. I want attention. I need attention. Rob, I was an abused little boy. I need attention. You know what I mean? Like, And so it keeps us sane. It kind of gives us an outlet, whether I can speak for myself, that like any kind of angst or therapy that I've ever needed, I've gotten it out through comedy, by making people happy, making people laugh, you know?
I agree, man. I think that my wife has seen me have jobs, and you know, as a father and a husband, you're always like, well, every job has always been around comedy. It's like this schedule will allow me to do comedy. This, whether it's driving Uber or something, like this will let me do comedy.
Oh, I wish there was Uber in my 20s.
Because my wife just like, she got to the point, she was like, you're always going to find a reason why you hate that job, you know, so just put your attention on comedy, because I would talk about how great this job is going to be when we needed it. And as soon as we got a little bit of wiggle room, I would be like, I hate this job. Like I hate the job. And comedy is the only thing. And you know, I always consider myself like a merch killer. Like without my merch, I couldn't be a full-time opener. I love merch. I hate selling merch sometimes, but I love the interaction. I love coming home with just wads of money. I love it.
It was a thing where that was the one thing during the pandemic. Like you're filling out grants and stuff. You're trying to, you know, get some, you know, unemployment. And then you think like, wow, lots of people buy t-shirts and DVDs, and you're like, oh my gosh. Like then you realize, you know, and I'm sure this is not, I mean, people listen to the podcast, they know, you know, they've heard me talk about touring, and because sometimes you want to check yourself and they're like, do we sound like greedy asshole? No, it's just
No.
it's part of our business. And like if you know
Yeah.
if you know anybody that is in bands, t-shirts and merch is
Yeah.
like, it's like a third of your money, sometimes half.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, especially for us, we've toured the country with huge names. And
Mm-hmm.
so their crowds are thanking us.
Yeah.
They're basically, those crowds are applauding the headliners that bring us, which is amazing,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
for our, they're like, hey, good job, here you go, kid. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
it's huge. And then you
Yeah.
realize that you're missing that, and you got,
Mhm.
2 boxes of t-shirts in the closet with
Yeah.
$400 in it. You're just like, and
Yeah.
then
You depend on that, man.
I'm, looking at my podcast supporters. I'm like, you want a shirt? You want a shirt though? Like, I got a coupon code.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So I mean, just missing that. I mean, I'm fearful out there. I quarantined. I took it seriously. Like I said, my mother hasn't even seen my newborn daughter.
uh,
So to be back out there is really really tough. But it is satisfying in the sense of getting back on stage. But I'm terrified. I cannot lie to you.
I know it's scary. I was talking to you earlier about that, like, just like, you want to go out, you want to go work, you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
it's scary. I keep saying I still I'm holding on strong as one of those dumb people that believe in science and math, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to
No.
tell you. It's
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
And I'm scared too, because it don't feel like anybody's in charge of nothing,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
And I could tell you too, being out there, we do a two-man show,
Right.
me and Benji Brown, and I go up first, and there's people in the crowds wearing masks. But
Yeah.
then there's a two-item minimum. So people are eating and drinking, and by the time I go back on stage to get him off, everybody's not wearing a mask anymore.
Right.
So and naturally so, how are they gonna
Sure.
enjoy it, enjoy their meal, food
Right.
and meal and drinks wearing a
It, it
mask. So
it's a hard place to be. I've said multiple times, live streaming, talking to my friends here, and
yeah.
you know, I think one of the big things, I just talked to a comedy club manager the other day. Not that I'm trying to signal that I'm a loving person, but I'm just saying, like, the people that we work with, I think about them every day. Every time I
Mhm.
think I can't wait to go back to work, because
Mhm.
I want to perform and I want to make some money for my family. I think about those bartenders, those door people,
Yeah.
the sound people, the servers. Like, I'm just like, all these people got kids, none of them are working,
Yep, yep,
and
and they're good people.
that's our coworkers.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I think about those people all the time, because you go to Tampa and you can't wait to see so and so. You
Mhm.
go to
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
go to I always say, you go to Dayton Funny Bone. I can't wait to see Molly.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Oh, yeah, Molly. Yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean? Another mother
Yeah.
of 3 killing it for her family.
Mhm. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but, like, you think about those people all the time.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so when some of my friends are out working, you're like, oh, this is I'm scared for you and your family. But then I'm like,
Yeah.
those servers got to work too. They need,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
so it's a tough time. It's,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
there's a lot of free space out there to think. There's,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah, and
mean?
I agree. I think we have to open up at some point, and I think that if more people take it serious, then we would be able to open up safely. But
Yeah.
you still got these bad apples out here that are only going to prolong it. So if we have to shut down again, it's because of the people that's like, oh, it's not true,
Right.
and or impatient,
Right.
So it's heartbreaking, and now that I'm back on the road, I can see the people that walk up to me and try to shake my hand, or the people that
Right.
want to take a picture without a mask.
Yeah,
And
I
and,
know.
and it hurts. It hurts because we love that. We worked for that, for
Of
somebody to
course.
want to take a picture with you. But and you do y'all sit there and tell everybody, hey, I'm back to work because I have to be, but I got a newborn at home.
Right.
Do I have to break that down to every single person, or do
Right.
I look like a jerk?
I
So that's
I think
heartbreaking.
I think it comes both ways, because most of the comics I talk to, it's either or. You know what I mean? Like, I had Brad Williams on a couple weeks ago. Brad Williams, he lives in L.A. He just had a newborn baby.
Mhm.
He got to go back to work.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? I mean, but then some other people, I'll talk to, and they'll say, I understand why you're not going out. I get it.
Mm,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So it's like, it's whatever you got to do. And like I said,
yeah,
I mean, you get a little unemployment, whatever. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
we're just all trying to figure it out. I just know that I don't think I want to get on a plane to Florida right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
So, well, thanks, Aaron, because I gotta do that next week.
yeah, I'm praying for you. I just,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thanks, man.
I mean, no, it's hard. It's hard. It's yeah, because you want to do that. You want to make a living, but you're doing it,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Thanks, man.
it's that's why I've always, that's why when I first met you a couple years ago, I was like, I always appreciate people that can put together love and hustle. You know what I mean? Just like,
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
yeah. Well, I mean, even us talking about living below our means, I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
yes, we can talk about family finance together. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Because it's hard to do it, and a lot of people don't,
yeah.
because for us, it's like, we're in a point in our career that people are like, okay, so when are you going to LA? Why don't you have a TV show? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
yeah,
and you're
yeah,
like,
for sure.
we got to do this for 10 more years, and then
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
then we
Yeah, and
feel
hope. And
successful.
hope.
It's
And I always tell people too that I want to go to LA when I can afford to take my family. If I just go as a struggling artist, like the same way we said about if I'm not doing comedy, I'm not happy. If I don't have my family,
right,
I'm not happy. So I can't go and hustle and
right,
not have them there. So I need to be able to afford to take them with me.
right,
Otherwise, I feel like I abandoned my kids anyway and my wife, So
right,
we already leave them 4 days a week,
right,
then we're back
right.
home for three, then we're back
Yeah,
on the road again for four. So kudos to our wives, for putting up with that. And
amen.
just going to
Yes.
LA is tough, man. It's tough.
Yeah, it's I've told this story. I always feel like I'm saying things 100 times to people who listen to my podcast, but whatever.
Uh,
They'll
yeah,
know my story better than me.
yeah.
But we tried to do that. We looked at it before I had my third child. I took my wife out. I was headlining at an improv in California, and so I was able to take my wife out to see LA, and
Mm,
and we really did. Like, we talked to friends, we went to lunch, we visited neighborhoods, like we really went at it, and it came down to math. It came down to,
yeah,
I'm gonna be
yeah.
gone. I'm gonna be gone 40. I need to be working 40 weeks a year minimum,
Wow.
and I need to make this amount of money. And
Yeah,
while I'm doing that, my wife is gonna sit in a little neighborhood outside of Los Angeles by herself with our two kids and know nobody.
yeah, yeah. Can't do it. Can't do it.
And
It's common sense.
all four grandparents are out back here.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just
yeah, yeah,
it's just, and it might have been the best thing we ever did. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I
Um,
agree. And it's refreshing to hear that because uh honestly, and no, like you said earlier too, no shot at the younger comics, in which we are still considered probably young comics.
oh yeah,
But
oh yeah,
uh to see somebody like yourself and myself that are making a living out of this, decide to stay home, and then you
Mm,
see younger comics that are barely working,
yeah.
make that move. It's so heartbreaking. And then you see
It
them come back.
yeah, it depends. Sometimes, because we all know smart people that know how to get it done. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Who are smart, and I think of my good friend, Colin Chamberlain. I'll shout him out.
Hmm.
Opens for me a lot on the road. He moved to New York, and he's young and hungry.
Hmm.
He's a smart kid.
Yeah.
And he went to New York, and just, I mean, he's micing 3 nights a week, or I
Nice.
mean, 3 times a night. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
wow. Sheesh.
Yeah, he's in New York. He's hitting 2, 3 mics a night. And so
Wow.
he's going in and doing the work. But we also know people that do that, move to New York or LA, and you hit them up a month later, like, what's going on? They're like, I can't find a job. I don't want to work out here. I'm like, what?
Mhm.
And they're like,
Yeah.
did you do stand up yet? And they're like, well, the Comedy Store didn't get back to me. I'm like, the Comedy Store? I'm like, you're in LA and you're nobody. You need to go do the bagel shop set right now. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know, that's
yeah,
what it is. And so
yeah.
we
And
definitely
to
see
see
it
him.
both ways.
Yeah, yeah. So I could, I commend you guys for making that decision to stay. And Benji
Right.
always tells me, um, because he's still in Miami.
Right.
He did the Martin tour, and he's like, he's like, I'd rather be, and in Miami isn't a small pond either, but it's not
Right.
entertainment, So,
Right.
but he's always saying, I'd rather be a big fish in a small pond and
Yeah.
let them come to me, or at least request me, and then I go out there. So,
Right.
I
Right.
mean, you could try to, try to make noise. And look, I mean, you are a full-time comic. You're pretty successful
Yeah.
in Pittsburgh. As far
Sure.
as
Sure.
Pittsburgh goes, you're traveling.
Right.
So and even for me to get taken on tour from Cleveland,
Yeah. Sure.
it's amazing.
It's much more possible now too. You know what I mean? Because too, I mean, people say, we're in a good comedy boom, I think, right now. You know what I mean? I think
I agree.
the digital age really opened up a lot of people's, names and faces and acts, and a lot of new clubs, and it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, shoot, we got a lot of problems right now. This is I don't know. I mean, there's, not only is it you don't want to fly to states, I mean, you don't want to fly to states for the pandemic, but then it's like I'm seeing comedy club, managers be canceled because they're saying dumb racist shit. I mean, this it is. There's been like 2 clubs already where I'm like, oh well, this place is dead now. This is I don't want to work there. I mean,
wow, you gotta shoot me a text and let me know. I haven't heard about comedy clubs. Shoot me a text and let me know.
You wouldn't be too concerned.
All right.
They're like, they don't need me. Bye. You're not hurting for it anyway. So, but no, it's just crazy, man. It's I don't know. Like, I want to ask you, like, I don't want to be one of those white friends that say, how are you and your kids during this whole shit? Because like, it's like during a pandemic, you also got to be a black man and a black father walking around, and that
well, and for your viewers that don't know, I am in an interracial relationship. So
right.
My wife is white already,
right.
So she already worries about me, especially when I'm driving somewhere. And it's so crazy you said that, because I actually talked to a white friend last night. I used to be a firefighter,
right.
And he's like, Happy Father's Day. I said, Happy Father's Day. And he said, and this was really bothering me too. So it's crazy. I didn't know we were even going to go into racial stuff, but
I didn't.
But he said, oh man, I need to get with you. Your friends always joke, oh, you're big time, I can't catch up with you. So I was like, oh no, man, you're a hero, because he's a firefighter. And he was like, all this because I voted for Trump. Like, he just pulled that out of his ass, right? Just came out there. I was like, yeah, that kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. And I was like, no, I'm joking. I didn't know you voted for Trump. I don't care who you voted for.
Right.
And he's like, and he was drunk. And I could tell he's like, call me. And I was like, I don't want to talk to you about Trump. It's Father's Day. And he baited me in. And we talked. And, it was just, and I was telling him that I think that I'm trying to censor myself, I guess.
Right.
I don't say too much of our conversation. But I
know.
I told him that I feel like because I know he's a great guy. I know he's not racist, but I think that some of the prejudice you have and some of the biased opinions that you have are part of the problem. Because when you have good people, but they think a certain way, it only holds us back. So I think one of the things he said was, I hate Black Lives Matter. I hate all lives matter. I think we shouldn't be saying that all cops are bad. And I used to be a firefighter. I know all cops are bad.
Sure.
Being in an interracial relationship, being a ex-firefighter, working with some of those guys, knowing that those guys are great guys, and there's some bad apples out there. But when he said stuff like, then he said, well, there's about, I forget the percentage he said, of African-American men and women growing up in single parent households. And that's the issue that African-American family has in their community. So I think they need to handle that before they can be out here protesting and doing that. And I said, well, it all ties together. We make up 15% of the population, 60% of African-American men. I don't quote me on that percentage, but it's high, make up the prison system. So, of course, there are single family households. And if we make up 15% of the population and 60% of the jail population, Do you think we're being targeted?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that black men are being targeted? And this is where it kind of got a little heated. And we don't have to talk about this long because I love talking
No,
about
yeah,
the bad shit with you.
yeah.
Yeah, he says, well, and this is a firefighter. He says, well, uh, yes, if you look at the African American community, those are the guys mostly making doing crimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, so you telling me 6 out of every 10 black men are criminals? And he says, well, it depends on what area you're in. And I said, what? And he's like, it depends on what area. And he's like, I could take you to a certain place in Ohio where maybe 8 of those guys are probably, criminals. And I was like, just from where they stay at? I grew up in the hood where Bone Thugs and Harmony are
Right.
from, where they rap about. And, I could take you to that community and show you 10 guys that never been arrested,
Right.
So I told him that's part of the problem because he's a firefighter, but if you were a cop, you would automatically assume that 8 of those 10 black guys were criminals because of the community that you're in.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that's I think that's part of the problem. Sorry, my wife was asking, is I hungry?
No, I those statements, yeah, I don't want to get into it either. Like I said, like I try to have fun and do politics, and I don't do politics and religion, but I think, that's the thing. This is not about politics. This is about human beings. You know what I mean? And why I just thought about it is that just being a father, you know what I mean? Just, I think about being a father and I'm just like, but anyway, what you were saying, just my response to that was just that there's so many conversations like that. It's like I don't want to be that dude that's saying like I'm getting exhausted talking to people because I don't even know what exhaustion is compared, so, but it's just like people make statements like that and you go, yeah, but also though, yes, but let me tell you why. Like, it's because there are people that make those statements, those racist statements that are going, well, this and this is this. And their reason is because they're black. I'm like, no, that's not the reason. It's because the system has been against them forever. So like, but anyway, it's just, I can't even.
And he tried to use this as, he said, well, take you for instance, did you grow up with your father? I was like, I did. He's like, well, that's a bad example. So I was like, so you can't say, so he's about to, I guess, give me props for being a decent human being, but that's it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't, I have a white father-in-law who hugs me and tells me he loves me and all of those things. Like, if we could just have more of that, I don't know why we have to say, well, your community if we all could just love each other, and that's bottom line when it comes to it. If you shave off a dog's hair, it's a dog under there. Same thing with humans. So I just wish that it was more of that. I think we're needed for that because of comedy. I think that we need because comedy brings so many people together if it's done right. Like you said, you stay away from politics and religion. I do myself. I talk about fatherhood. I talk about my family. Things are relatable, but when you start talking about religion and politics, people's opinions start to hurt other people's feelings. And I think that's why we need comedy back. That's the hard part.
I always feel like too. I always give comedians. I give us credit for like. I feel like all the comedians we know that travel and tour, and I would say that some of the musicians that I know too, is that you really, really get a good perspective on human beings, because everybody that we know that lives in wherever we live, they're here most of the time. Like where do they go? Oh, we're going to Open City this summer. You know what I mean? Like we're going on a road trip for vacation. That's all they go. So most of the people that we know, they know the people at work, the people at school, and that's it. They don't, So I think that comedians always have a great perspective. I feel like more people should follow comedians and listen to podcasts because we get to go one week, we get to go perform in San Francisco, and the next week we are in Little Rock, Arkansas. You know what I mean? And we are literally having conversations with dozens, sometimes hundreds of people from a certain area, from a certain, I would say, a certain worldview, because the United States, let's be honest, is 5 countries. I mean, like, Connecticut is nowhere near Texas. Okay. So it's like we are like our own little Europe here. You know what I mean? Like England is very different than Afghanistan way over here. You know what I mean? Like, so you know, I think we get a good understanding of kind of like the median of the United States. Like we get a good sense of people. They're not a, you know, there's not a, you don't meet a lot of people that like hate people. You know what I mean?
No, there's some great people out there.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, you meet a lot of people who are just kind of like all trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, and they're pushed different ways by different things. You know, maybe their newspaper in town, maybe the
media. Oh my God.
Yeah, you know, you look at people's, like, you know, people. Where do they, you know, get their information from? You know, there's no more truth. There's no more. You know, it's just everybody got 20 different sources of truth. You know what I mean? I mean, for God's sakes, people don't even believe math and science are truth anymore. I mean, that's where we're at. So, you know, so yeah, but it is like you get to experience all that. I tell people all the time, you know, I remember when no politics or religion, but it's just an example about how, you know, I have a bubble of friends, you know, that are liberal friends, you know, arts friends, you know what I mean, performers, you know, and I remember them saying, "Oh, Hillary is going to win by 80%."
Yeah.
And I was like, I've been to Tulsa.
Yeah.
Like I've been to Little Rock. I've been to Georgia. I've been to Florida. I've been to Phoenix. Shit, I've been to New York State. Like, I don't think you know what you're talking about. Like,
for sure.
Like, I'm like, you know, it's just things like that. Just, you know, people are different. You know what I mean? But like I said, I just want to you know, just say that, like, it's not politics or religion what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. That's not. There's no red and blue to black and white. There's no. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like, such a scary, and I guess it is relevant to the podcast because it's such a scary time to be a dad. You know, especially having biracial kids. It's such a scary time to be a father, and we still don't see people as people. We still don't. And like you said, we travel all over the country. I've had, you know how you selling your t-shirt, you selling your merch, and you get those people that come up to you and they give you too much information. You learn, but they just have to tell you how they feel about politics, or you know, I've had people say inappropriate things to me as you know, because they're comfortable, because we open ourselves up. But you can probably attest to this. There's so many more positive interactions than there are negative. And it's people that genuinely there's more good than bad in the world. I really, really believe that.
Oh, sure.
You know, we just don't showcase that as much as we do the negative.
Right. Yeah. Anytime I ever see, I mean, my limited, believe it or not, my limited view of Facebook, like you know, it may look like we're on there a bunch, but comedians, we're marketers.
We're
marketers.
On Facebook.
If you see me,
we're just on there posting.
We're
not on there scrolling.
I scroll a couple people. I scroll maybe some news will pop up, and if you see me make a comment, that's the first time I looked at my phone all day. I mean, I can't. I mean, we're marketers. We're promoters. We're entertainers. You know, so I'm not on there that much. You know, and wait, what did you say just before that? I lost it. My coffee's wearing out.
I haven't even had any. No, I was just talking about good people. Being out there, people walking up to us, their interactions.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get that. You know, you don't get that on Facebook. You don't get the news. Anytime I was going to say, anytime I come across something good like that, I always hashtag spread good news. Just like if you see something good, like, because, you know, and by the way, I don't want to speak for you, Rob, but I'm talking to my listeners. We're not saying that there's good people on both sides. That's not what we're saying.
No, we're not.
No. That's not the kind of statement that's being made. It's just that, like, we know that, you know, lumping so many different people into like a category is just not true. And we know that there's people just trying to figure out how to love people out there. And I think, I think this year especially, it's been nice that it's been nice that we've able to sit around and at home during the pandemic, and I think this is the first time that I really think that people are learning. Like I
I agree.
as much as I cringe watching lots of friends, talk about their feelings about Juneteenth, but you know what I mean, like
yeah.
I'm just like, you know what though, I'm trying not to virtue signal, like, when things were happening over the last couple years, and you're like, yeah, I get this. Like, this is, and people are like, I'm like, no. And it's to finally see, like, to finally see more people getting it, like, oh, there's a problem. And, you're seeing it in the streets, and that's encouraging this time.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yes, it is.
But man, I mean, you get scared of the work that still needs to be done. It's just, and part of our job, like what we're doing here, we're not politicians, we're not preachers, we're not, you know what I mean? Like, we're not like, we just want to make people have a good world. You know what I mean? Like, we want to bring joy to people. My only goal is to make people laugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's, it is. I think we've discovered that it is an amazing common denominator that people have, is just to bring joy and laughter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's fun. I do definitely want to get back to joy and laughter.
Yeah, I bet you missed it, man. It felt. I mean, the crowds were small. I mean, really small. I mean, I think smallest crowd we had was 8 people, and the biggest crowd we had was probably about 50, 55. But this is Alabama. I mean, not Alabama. This is Memphis, Tennessee, and we were in Jackson, Mississippi. So I don't even know. We played Chuckles Comedy Club a couple of times, and that's a pretty. They get comedy. They come out, but it's a pandemic. But it did feel good to be back up there and to get away from that, because I mean, I didn't even have a joke for it. I just said, I was telling in the house, I'm here, and you just get an applause, just for that. So I know you got to miss it, bro. I know. I
got to ask you. So when you first, because I know what it's like. You got to open up a show for a star. You know what I mean? You got to do some heavy lifting. That's the one thing I'm afraid of, is that, like, did you cut up on Corona a little bit?
I think I talked about my daughter being born, and that experience in the hospital, because that was a totally different experience because of the coronavirus, and different perspective. Like I said, I try to stay out of the politics, because I have different feelings. But just my experience, me and my wife in the house together. So yeah, I did, and I actually got to try some new stuff out this weekend about it. But that was my perspective on it.
Yeah. That's what everyone says. That's when what I figure. You know what I mean? Like, you just want to get back to it. You know what I mean?
And you want to get out there. Now, this is the part I think that you want to get out there before every other comedian talks about it, where it's like, I'm tired of hearing about Corona.
Yeah, I mean,
you're gonna miss that.
Well, it's a thing where it's like, do people want to even mention this? But you just, you got to talk about your life. You know what I mean? You just, because I mean, if there's things that you're laughing at while you're in quarantine, we know we got to say it. We got to, you got to see if anybody else thinks it's funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man, it's just what a goddamn. It's just what a time to be alive, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what though? I told my kids though, this is something that, like, with the pandemic, being with the kids so much, I would say though, it's one of the best times of my life.
I agree, man. I agree.
Like, just being home,
my daughter swing.
Yes.
I practiced baseball with my daughter, and she just to see her swing just develop, and she's proud and she's pumped, and it's such a great time to be home, man. It was hard to go back on the road. I almost cried because I was sad. Like, and my daughter did cry. That's what almost made me cry. She was used to me being, but that's not the norm. But she was used to me being home.
Yeah. I keep saying that, we sit on the front porch at night, right? And to have weeks in a row where my wife and I will have, we'll have our we call it just our Porsche charcuterie, cut up some cheese and salami, you know, and have some spiked tang or whatever, you know what I mean? But like we'll sit on the porch and just sitting on the porch with my wife, like every night. Like I'm like, oh yeah, this is I want to do this like forever. So there's little things like that where it's like waking up with my kids every day, like doing a show. I do my live stream Friday night show. My wife sits next to me, and has a glass of wine, and I have a show, and then we have a date night. We just watch a movie. Saturday morning we wake up whenever we want. I'm like, this is amazing. Like this. But I think you're right. I mean, there are times that like I'm like, oh, I need to get out. Like I need to get out of here. Like that's. I've gotten used to it. I would say the first 2 months I would go on drives by myself.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
Just because we're so used to being in the car for so long, or I would just go listen to podcasts, go listen to music, have a cup of coffee. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it looks like are you
my wife? No. My wife, we hands ignored. She got pissed. She literally tried to bring me like egg whites to the car to eat breakfast, and I'm like, no. She's like, I thought you. She's all right. It's egg whites. I can heat up. Egg whites are disgusting, so I can heat those up. They'll still taste the same. So
are you on that strongman breakfast?
No. We just she had the baby. She can work out now. So we came up with the plan that she's in charge of nutrition and I'm in charge of the workouts.
Nice.
I worked out. And that's another thing too. I went for a run every day. I did a run 30 days in a row.
What?
100 push-ups a day.
Man,
now that she can work out. Yeah, man. Yeah, got my mile time down. I think I couldn't run a mile in 16 minutes. I got it down to like 9 minutes and 11 seconds. So I was really proud of that. Trying to beat under 9. I found out you get a discount on your life insurance if you can run a mile under 10 minutes. So I got it down.
I have not run at least a 12-minute mile was the fat kid number in high school. Wow. I don't think I've run a 12-minute mile since like 2002.
Wow, yeah, man. It started because we couldn't do anything else. It started being therapeutic. It started being because that was my only. And then too, I was an advocate for social distancing.
Right.
And it's so crazy because people was like, "You're out running. You're not quarantined."
Right.
Like, the outside isn't dangerous. It's people are dangerous. You can go and walk. You can go. And that was my therapy, man. So yeah, it felt good. And now she can work out. So she's doing a nutrition, doing workouts.
Excellent.
Charged.
Yeah, we've turned into fat pieces of shit. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a mess. Like that's why look how I record from here. Yeah. Look, like you think if there was a body shot, I would have a white shirt on? You're crazy.
No, white shirts for one. I always spill something on my shirt before I go on stage, and because we eat and drink so late, I never was comfortable in white shirts on stage.
Oh yeah,
because just lack of working out, man.
That's one thing that's gonna kill me when I was first home. I would say the first like month or so, that that fourth meal that we have as comedians, like I'd be home with my wife. We would watch a movie. It would be like 11:30, and I'm like, Taco Bell drive-thru's open. I mean, just like you want to eat that fourth meal after a show. And I've gotten used to that. So when I get back out, the one thing I think that's gonna just crush me is that those funnel cake fries from the Funny Bone after a show, it's over.
Yeah. I would say that too. I think I gave up red meat, I gave up pork, and I gave up beer.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
so you're eating
beer.
You on the Jesus diet? Just fish and like
chicken? Yeah.
Oh,
fish, chicken. I also do. I do the vegan. I'm not vegan at all, but I do eat like the burger. Burgers and stuff like that when I want a burger.
That's a whole nother podcast. We got to talk about that some other time. We'll just do a dad bod podcast because like I've been through the journey of losing 100 pounds. And people like, you know what? People that are listening, they like talking about that. I think everybody that listens, they got to deal with a dad bod or a mom bod. They know what's going on.
Yeah. It's reality, man. It's more people's reality than more people with dad bods than six pack.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've never had abs.
I gotta get, yeah. When I lost 100 pounds, I've always had a good core, but it was hidden by, laundry. And when I lost 100 pounds, I started seeing that 4-pack, you know what I mean, come in.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, yeah. And then that was it. And then I blew a muscle in my back, and then that was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what happened. And I gained back 50 pounds. Oh, I'm lost you almost.
To lose weight. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
All right. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, I said, I had people tell me that they don't want me to lose weight because I'm so likable on stage as a big guy. I've had people walk up to me say that.
I'm going to be honest. This is now, a lot of people, get pissed off at this kind of thing, but it is a real thing that when I lost weight and I look like I turned from like a chubby dad bod, like a neighbor in a sitcom, to like, I look like, I played D3 and now I coach. Like that's what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I looked like I was like a fit dad, and it made a huge difference. I'm telling you, especially with acting, because I started losing weight, and then there was like, now I'm auditioning for like, the bodyguard, the bouncer, the state trooper. I was like, huh? I was like, before it was like, it was like the silly dad at the bowling alley that falls over, it was like shit like that.
And that's what you want to be.
Yeah, it was like the FBI agent. I'm like, I don't want to play this shit, But anyway, hey, listen, I'll let you go eat your egg white breakfast. I appreciate you, man, so much.
No problem. And I didn't get to tell your viewers last time because you didn't record me. But man, thank you so much, man. You're a veteran. To me, anyway. To the comics, I've only been doing this years now. But,
hold on. Sorry, I'm losing you.
Look, you're like, hey, he's complimenting me. I'm losing.
I know. I'm like, it's going away. I don't want you to say something nice, and I lose you.
Oh yeah. No, I just want to say thank you, man. Every time I see you, you're super positive, man. Super funny, super fun to work with. Every time I work with you, I learn something new. No matter the size of the crowd, your energy is always the same. You're passionate about it, and you're just a genuine guy. So I want to thank you for having me on your podcast.
Man,
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. And I just want to talk to people that I know, that I love, and that I vibe with. And I love talking to other dads too that are doing it. You know what I mean? And you're one of the people too that we're on a similar trajectory. We're trying to having those people we can look to that are doing what you're doing. We all kind of like can look at each other and try to push each other up. That every class of comedians have done that. So I look at you as one of those people that I really love and trust, and look at what you're doing, and I say, okay, I trust what Rob's doing. You know what I mean? So I want to tell you that.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And also,
thank you, man. Appreciate it.
You say the same thing, but I look at my other dads out there that are doing it. I'm like, all right, I'll be okay. Rob's doing it. Rob's house burned down. Don't be a bitch. You'll be fine.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
thanks,
right.
Man.
So, man, I appreciate you so much. On the front end and the back end of the podcast, I'm going to tell everybody where they can find you, but obviously at Rob Ward Comedy. I'll tag everything right. As long as I tag you right, people will find you.
Okay, sweet, man. Thank you.
Because you're all over the country. I want people to go see you, man. Especially, hey, look, if people are seeing Rob during closures, go throw a $20 bill over the table and buy a shirt off of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you,
brother. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, man.
All right, no problem, man. Have a good day. Happy Father's Day, man.
You too. Thank you.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it.